So, how do we find the derivative of any polynomial? Well, simply put, all we're going to do is multiply the index of the polynomial down to the coefficient of the x term. So that's going to be a times n. And then all we're going to do after that is subtract 1 away from the index. So that's going to be to the power of n minus 1. So we multiply the index down to the coefficient in front of the x term, and then we subtract 1 away from the index term. And that's how we find the derivative of any polynomial. Consider the example y equals 4x cubed. In this example here, the 4 is the coefficient in front of the x term and 3 is the index. So to find the derivative of y with respect to x, we multiply the index down to the coefficient. So that's going to be 4 times 3 is 12, and we subtract 1 away from the index. So 3 minus 1 is 2. What if we have a number of polynomial terms within the same function? So assume that we have y equals 3x to the 6 plus 2x to the 4, take away 9x plus 1. So here we've got 4 terms, all polynomials. We apply the same rules to find the derivative to each of these terms separately. So 3x to the power of 6, 3 is the coefficient, 6 is the index. Multiply the index down to the coefficient, 6 times 3 is 18, and subtract 1 away from the index. So 6 take away 1 is 5. Then we'll tackle this term here. 4 times 2 is 8, so plus 8. So then subtract 1 away from the index, which is 3. With this negative 9x here, the power in front of the x term is 1. It looks like there's nothing there, but it's actually 1. So I'm going to write this one out a bit more explicitly for you. So minus 9 times 1 is 9. X to the power of 1 take away 1 is 0. And the derivative of any constant term, so without any x terms relating to it, is just 0. So we always ignore the constant terms at the end of a polynomial, usually is where you find them. Alright, so let's just simplify this down. 18x to the power of 5 plus 8x cubed, take away 9 times x to the power of 0. Any term to the power of 0 is 1, so x to the power of 0 is 1, and 9 times 1 is 9, so that's going to be negative. What if we had a question that looked like y equals 2x cubed plus 4x take away 3 all divided by x squared? Well, simply put, to solve this type of problem, let's break it up into its individual terms. So the first term would be 2x cubed all over x squared plus 4x all over x squared minus 3 all over x squared. And we'll simplify each of these terms. So 2x cubed divided by x squared is just 2x. 4x divided by x squared is 4 over x, which is the same as 4 times x to the power of negative 1. And 3 divided by x squared is the same as 3 times x to the power of negative 2. Now, with negative indices, the rules that we look at still apply. So the derivative of 2x to the power of 1 is 2 times 1 is 2, and 1 minus 1 is 0, and anything to the power of 0 is 1. So that term then disappears. 4 times negative 1 is minus 4. We subtract 1 away from negative 1, which is x to the power of minus 2. Minus 2 times minus 3 is a positive 6. And we subtract 1 away from that negative 2, which gives us negative 3. Now, in mathematics, generally speaking, we like to write things with positive indices where possible. So I'm just going to write this as take away 4 over x squared plus 6 over x cubed. What about surds? Let's see if we can apply the same principle to surds now. What if we had something that looked like y equals 6x squared plus 2 root x? Well, in this example, we're going to apply the same idea that we had in the previous example, in that we're going to write everything in terms of its powers on the numerator. So y equals 6x squared plus 2, and in index form, this surd looks like x to the power of a half. And now we're going to apply the same rules as we applied before. So the derivative of y with respect to x is going to be 2 times 6 is 12. So it's going to be 12x. 2 times a half is 1. So plus 1x. And a half subtract 1 is minus a half. And again, we will write these with positive indices. That's going to be 12x plus 1 over x to the power of a half, which is the same as the square root of x. So if I gave you something like y equals 6x, 2x squared plus 9x take away 3. Alright, if you ever get given a problem like this, all we'll do is we'll expand out the brackets first. So 6x times 2x squared is 12x cubed. 6x times 9x is 54x squared. And 6x times negative 3 is minus 18x. So that's our y term there. So when we find the derivative of y with respect to x, same rules apply. That's going to be 36x squared plus 108x minus 18.